sorry. We apologize for the technical difficulties we had here starting the stream. 7:46 left to play in this game as we just got underway. Mount Carmel has started with the ball. I'm Brooks Lepley alongside Reed O'Connor on this Wednesday night, bringing you some BCL action.
Yeah, long story short, Mount Carmel won the tip-off and were fouled and are shooting their first foul shots.
Drew Dixon knocked down his first. He's the senior. The only senior on this floor in the starting five as Ellison takes it quickly up. He drives to the paint, kicks out. It's Williams. Williams to Brown. He thinks about it. Back to Williams. Williams drives to its right side. Now corner, Jalen Brown. Brown, top of the key, drives to the hoop. Midway jumper, and that's good. And Brown gets this game started with 2 for Loyola.
Yeah, I mean, that was a long series from Loyola, a lot of passing it around the horn till finally finding an open shot.
As Dixon, midway jumper from the free throw line. That's good as well. And the senior gets himself on the board. We got a tie ball game early. Williams takes it up the court. Into Ellison. Ellison drives, midway jumper, no good. Navarre there for the offensive rebound. Williams 3 off the mark and rebounded by Rudizans. He'll give it to Wilson. Wilson downhill drive, stolen. It's Hammond. Jalen Brown on a fast break, up, no good, and Mason Ellison cashes in on a Mount Carmel mistake, and he throws a dunk down. 4-2 Dons as Rudizans gets things started quickly again. Wilson, Mancho, Dixon, top of the key.
Yeah, just a fantastic play, really. The fast break with the missed layup, and then he just cashes in with the dunk.
Mancho, the freshman, the biggest guy on the court, number 33, lays one in, and we're here at 4-4. Brown in the corner, drives in, has Hammond. Ellison from outside the arc, just off the mark, and Dixon drives forward, a slick pass to Rudizans. Ellison on Rudizans in the paint, and he finishes in tight. Williams is looking to be the ball carrier for the Dons all game here. Brown tries to go in the paint, drives to the rim, and he's gonna be fouled. Question is, did he put up the shot in time or not?
Yeah, that time he was really just swarmed by 3 or 4 Mount Carmel defenders.
And Brown will go to the line for the first time tonight for the Dons. He can get him on level terms here if he hits both. Brown hits the first. Dons in their all-white kits, as we see Carmel in their blue with white numbers. Brown off the mark on a second one. Drew Dixon on Marlon Williams. Tatum goes to his right, mid-range jumper off the mark. Hammond was on coverage, offensive rebound by Wilson. Wilson drives to the paint, Rudizan's near side corner, and he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, just an unfortunate happenings there with him stepping out of bounds. He made a fantastic move and looked like he was going to drive in for an open layup.
You know, yeah, we're seeing 2 really well coached sides here. Don's coached by Josh Sersky in his first season here at Loyola. He comes in 2-3 in the BCL and 0-1 at home here on Jerry Savage Court. The Don's looking to fix that record tonight. And passed, thrown away, looking for Rudizans deep in the paint. And Marlon Williams and Jalen Brown had the coverage there. But as for Carmel, Mount Carmel, they're coached by Tony Martin. In his first season with Mount Carmel, this is his 9th season in the BCL after 11 seasons at John Carroll. So 2 experienced coaches here in a clash on this Wednesday night. 6'5", Mount Carmel. Marlon Williams, downhill drive, finds Jalen Brown in the paint. He'll go up, and Mancho fouls him, and Brown will go to the line for the second time tonight.
Yeah, in fact, we got an opportunity to talk to Coach Zersky earlier, and he gave us 4 keys for the Dons to take this game and put it in the win column. He told us that they were looking to minimize the turnovers, and also that they were going to locate Mount Carmel's shooters and mark them up all game.
Yeah, the Dons an impressive win at the Governor's Challenge. They beat Elizabeth in the championship from New Jersey. In the past 2 games, the Dons won their other game against Aberdeen 99-61, a commanding win as Wilson, far side corner, just off the mark. Quick transition, it's Ellison driving to the rim in the paint, misses off the mark. Moncho, defensive rebound. Wilson, Dixon drives to the paint, a good Euro step and finds Moncho. Moncho went up for the dunk, ended up laying it in. And quick transition in this game. Hammond drives to the cup. Ellison now drives to the cup and puts it up in the paint. That's good. A nice floater action from Mason Ellison. It's 9-8. Really quick transition in this game. Wilson looked for the foul on the floater. Thought Brown fouled him. And Moncho's on the ground. It'll be Dons inbound as Nottingham and Legree check into the game for Navarre and Hammond.
Yeah, well, Junior Moncho, he's not so junior. The biggest guy on the court, as you said earlier, he can practically touch the rim without even jumping. So dunks are a walk in the park to him.
Rodney Scott checking into the game for Mount Carmel. Good move from Jalen Brown. And we'll get a foul on Rodney Scott. He just nipped Jalen Brown's arm there on the drive to the rim. It'll be Legree on the inbound. He's a 2-sport varsity athlete, also a varsity football player, and he finds himself in this roster. A good cut inside from Williams, backdoor cut, and he finishes on a Mount Carmel mistake. That's going to be key for the Dons if they can capitalize off this disciplined Mount Carmel team's mistakes. Earlier in the season, Mount Carmel topped the strong St. Francis side as Dons fell to them in overtime, 91-88. So this is on card to be a good one, and a nice slick pass into number 14. That's Tristan Heflin, the sophomore. And we have a back-and-forth game here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that was really so smooth, as you said. They were passing that ball in between and were able to slip it through the cracks in the Dons defense and get a good lay there.
Good defense and a defensive rebound there from Tristan Wolf, or Luca Wolf, excuse me. Brown on ball. Tatum for 3. No good. Still have yet to see a 3 in this game. Legree in transition. Williams drives to the cup and lays it in. What a first quarter Marlon Williams is having. 2 straight scores on 2 straight possessions right there as he defends Scott at the top of the key.
Like you said before, no 3s in this game so far. And personally, I think that's because of both of the disciplined defenses. Neither the Dons or Mount Carmel are letting each other have anything on the outside.
Jesse Legree just gave an opportunity for 3. As we've seen so far, a really good move from Drew Dixon, and he cashes in on a nice play. Lays it in for 2, 13-12. Dons still lead. As we've seen so far, really quick transition for both of the teams. Another reason we haven't seen many 3 balls put up yet, as Brown drives to the paint, kicks out. Mason Ellison, top of the key for 3, no good. Rebound, Heflin. Dixon drives up to the court to a wide open Scott went up the court, kicked out, it's Wolf. Now Scott at the top of the key with 17 seconds. 1:10 to play here in this first quarter. 25 total points scored, 13 to Loyola. Dixon a long 2, off the front rim, and another rebound from Wolf. Not going according to his game plan. Coach Zersky, that is, his game plan, and a big block there from Jalen Brown. Legree in transition for three, off the mark again. And Scott pushes the pace, crosses Ellison. Scott to Dixon. He's played this whole first quarter. Dixon for three, that's perfect. Drew Dixon puts Mount Carmel in the lead, and Legree with a 4-second difference, shot clock, game clock, working on Rodney Scott up top, and tipped away. A good play there by Mario Tatum, the junior, as that'll sub Jalen Brown out of the game. We'll see Deji Battle-Ali and Hammond check back in.
Yeah, mere 22.6 seconds left in this first quarter. Both teams have played really well, kept it even as even can be, 13-15. The Mount Carmel team just barely pulled ahead. One play ago with the three.
Ellison, far side, drives to the cup, finds Legree. He drives in, finds Ellison for three, off the mark. And they're going to push the pace here. It's Tristan Wilson driving down. He finds Samartine Hill, the freshman, and puts it in to Ruzans at the buzzer. And that'll give Mount Carmel a 17-13 lead, 4-point difference in this first quarter. We'll be back with more second quarter action soon on the Loyola Sports Network. We welcome you back here into the broadcast. 17-13 is the lead for Mount Carmel. Reed, what'd you see there that really gave Mount Carmel the edge?
Well, first of all, the only three in this game so far came from Mount Carmel. Ellison of the Dons has put up 4 or 5 threes that just have all missed the mark. So if he gets on target with shooting, the Dons will be the clear favorite in this game.
Dons get it started back on offense. Hammond works on Scott. Pick set by Battle-Ali. Kicked out to Mason Ellison. He'll drive to the paint. And there's a blocking foul. Ellison, a downhill drive, caused the foul.
Yeah, that was a tough physical drive from Ellison there, but got fouled on it.
Hammond, the point guard, inbounds to Legree. Hammond in the near side corner. Gives it away to Rudizans, and he lost it and gave it to Rodney Scott. Drew Dixon pass to Wilson, and Wilson looks to set this Mount Carmel offense up. Brown fake pick. Wilson goes up for it. Ellison didn't touch it, and it'll be off Wilson. Dons basketball. Definitely one of the bigger tests the Dons have seen in this past couple weeks. The Dons' only loss in this 2 or 3 week span coming to Coward Hall. Jalen Brown drives across the top of the arc, goes up for a shot. He's looking for the foul, doesn't get it. Hammond V-cut to the near side corner, and we'll get a foul on number 2, Mazzari Brown, the freshman. Mazzari Brown, one of 3 freshmen on this team. Only 1 senior on this roster after last year. Mount Carmel side has lost 8 after last season. So it's good to see that they're still doing well without 8 seniors.
Yeah, Brooks, without those 8 seniors, they pulled a lot of players up from their past JV team and right before this game was the JV game between the Dons and Mount Carmel, and Mount Carmel lost that 70-24.
90 to 24.
90.
And Jalen Brown hits the Dons' first three of the night. 16-17, 1-point game. We've seen a lot of back and forth. Rudizan's hands off to Dixon. Legree guards Dixon, step back. Near corner Wilson, Rudizan's cuts the basket. Rudizan's takes a step back shot, and Brown on the rebound. Quick in transition is Ellison. He'll drive to the rim, lays it in, and the foul. Mason Ellison, a chance for a three-point play as he'll go to the line.
Yeah, just an incredible N1. People don't understand how much courage it actually takes to drive into two huge defenders like that and actually stay on target with your shot, but he did it there, and what an amazing play.
Yeah, Mason Ellison's most recent offer came from Rhode Island. He's a 6'4" shooting guard. He's a junior. Scott, top of the key. Dixon, right-handed drive, step back three. Jalen Brown, defensive rebound. Legree slows it down as the Dons can get a set possession here. Brown, bad pass. It's Wilson who stole it. Wilson slows it down, finds Rudizan's who drives to the cup, and he puts it in for two. 19-19 tie ball game here. Legree calling plays in the backcourt. Drew Dixon, I would say Mount Carmel has shown as their best player so far. Ellison works on Scott, and Scott got up and got a tip on that ball. We got a jump ball, Mason Ellison.
And that was some great effort there from Ellison as he, after the ball got tipped, he jumped up and got the jump ball.
He found the mismatch there on a smaller Rodney Scott and couldn't cash in as Battle Ali checks out. And we'll see Marlon Williams back in the game. Dons revert back to their starting five without Hammett instead of Legree. Scott works on Williams with his left hand. Here's Tristan Wilson. Wolf. Scott drives into the hoop. Wilson cuts back. Good defense from the Dons here. Ellison, pump fake. Scott takes the mid-range jumper off the mark, and Legree gets the offensive rebound. A good settled possession there for Mount Carmel. And the Dons held Navarre tipping the back court. And let's see. Ref decision saying it's off Drew Dixon.
Crowd's getting pretty riled up here. They're shouting different things from different angles.
This is Don's ball. Legree, who notched himself an impressive 5 3-pointers against Aberdeen in the 99-61 win. The guard, he'll inbound. Sorry. Brown starts on the far side. The Dons will have a settled possession here, not pushing the ball. And Ellison can't handle the pass. Williams, a gritty play on the ground with it. And Rodney Scott tries to contest it for the jump ball, and that's what they will do.
Yeah, that time it just went right through Ellison's legs. Either he didn't know the pass was coming to him or he blanked when trying to catch it, but an unfortunate play that could have resulted in points for the Dons.
Ellison and Legree have both been off the mark multiple times from three. Need to be more selective with their shots. As Ellison was off the mark and a pass stolen by Navarre. They tried to find Heflin in the paint there. A long shot. Brown into the cup, and he lays one in. A good play, fake to his right, one into the left for the paint. He'll lay one in to give the Dons the upper hand here in this second quarter. Right-handed drive, Dixon, Navarre on the ball, and Dixon lays one in again. He's on fire tonight.
An impressive drive by Dixon there. I mean, really, he faked it like 3 or 4 times before he actually went up to the hoop, which tricked out Navarre, who was going up for the block.
A big block there for Mason Ellison. However, Samartine Hill was a freshman, was able to capitalize on a tipped-up ball, and he shot up the mid-range jumper. It's 21-23. Jalen Brown, long three, bingo! That's his second of the night, and the Dons are up by 1. Crowd getting into this one. Williams against the freshman. Hill drives to the cup, and that's an easy layup. Don's got to do better at defending the paint. Another key that Coach Zersky wanted to say. This Mount Carmel team, lots of height compared to not as big a Loyola side. Dons need to do a better job there. That was just too easy for Samartine Hill. Jalen Brown thinks about the 3, step over, he'll take the 3. Perfect again! Jalen Brown hits again, 27-25. Dons lead with 2:35 left to play in this second quarter. He is heating up this game.
And that was a tough 3 as well. He jumped back as he was shooting, so neither of his feet were on the ground, and that ball just went absolutely sailing into the hoop. As they say, nothing but net on that one.
Another easy floater was put in on that last possession by Carmel. Legree mid-range jumper off the rim a couple times, and a defensive rebound by Mario Tatum as they push pace. Tatum drives to the rim. Foul by Mason Ellison. He almost had the block there off the rim and out. As the Dons will talk it over with 1:56, we have a tie ball game. And Mario Tatum, the junior, goes to the line first time tonight. Off the mark on his first shot as Legree subs out for Jordan Hammond. Only one injured tonight was Kendrick Worthington, the 2-sport varsity athlete, as well as Legree. Tatum shoots again and off the mark again. Ellison with the rebound. Williams, the playmaker here. Hammond finds Brown, far side corner, back to Williams. Now with Ellison, he thought about the 3. Hammond wide open, you bet! Hammond hits for 3, wide open, perfect ball movement from the Dons there. 30-27 lead, 1 minute, 30 seconds to play. Dixon works on Williams, fancy footwork. And they were able to get the steal there and out of bounds. They're gonna call a Mount Carmel ball. Coach Zersky is calling for the timeout. That was great defending from Marlon Williams on a shift. Drew Dixon, the senior, only senior leading this team that year. And we got a timeout for Coach Zersky at a crucial moment. Dons certainly have the momentum going into this timeout with 1 minute, 20 seconds left. Reed?
Yeah, Brooks, I mean, I would definitely agree. What a defensive play that time. The Dons, I don't remember who it was, but he really went diving out there, tipped that ball away, and another great defensive play from Mason Ellison to be able to jump on that ball, unfortunately out of bounds.
Yeah, the Dons staying composed against a very well-coached and very well-talented Mount Carmel team. Dons break the huddle. We've seen a lot of Mason Ellison and Jalen Brown so far. It is Loyola ball, Jordan Hammond. To inbound to Marlon Williams. In tight is Mason Ellison. He'll get the foul without the shot. he was working on Mario Tatum there. He tried to spin around, and Tatum had his arm locked up.
Yeah, regardless of the foul, he was able to get out of that arm lock and probably would have had the mid-range jumper.
Ellison obviously wants Brown off the inbound. Brown finds Navarre inside. He will not get the shot, and we're going to travel on Jaylen Brown there. Him and Navarre talking things over on the court. It was a good look. Just one too many steps there for Jaylen Brown. 1:03 left. And now we're under a minute. Crunch time for Carmel before the half. Dixon's open behind the arc. And his third three of the night goes in at a crucial time. We're just under 50 seconds here to play, and we're tied at 30. Dixon with the steal, wide open lane to the net. He'll go for the dunk and slams one home for Mount Carmel. Man, Drew Dixon is on fire. Now Ellison on the other side for three. Wide open, but he missed. Ruduzan's defensive rebound now to Wolf. And they'll calm it down. Drew Dixon will get this Mount Carmel side for a last shot here with 18 to play. Dixon goes in, crosses over, three, up and in. Drew Dixon looks at the crowd with a dominant performance here in this first half, 34-30. And Drew Dixon is a force that this Dons team can't seem to stop here in this first half.
Yeah, Drew Dixon has been on fire, slamming down three after three and driving to the net for open layups.
Williams at the line to shoot two, off the mark on his first one. Carter Palmer and Deji Badalali check in for Ellison and Jaylen Brown. Bench up on their feet for two good performers here so far. Dons trail by 4.
Yeah, Brooks, he needs this one. Mount Carmel just stole the momentum with 50 seconds left to play in this second half.
And that's off the mark again. Now Carmel pushes the possession for three. Dixon, another three ball. No good this time, but Mount Carmel will go into halftime with the lead, 34-30, and we'll be back for more second half action.
We good, White. We good. You gotta guard one person, bro.
a dominant first half performance from Drew Dixon, the senior on Mount Carmel. The score we had in the first half was 34-30. Mount Carmel was leading. Reed, as we talked to Coach Zersky before the game, he really wanted to work on rebounding and identifying the shooters along with defending the paint well. We haven't really seen that so far from this Loyola side. What do you think that can change to make that happen?
Well, let's just say that they identified the shooters, but they haven't manned them up very well. Drew Dixon, he has been the dominant one in this game, and if they're going to win, they need to mark him up good and proper.
Mount Carmel set to inbound. Switching sides here. Mount Carmel going to the right. Dons attack the left side now. Good tip away. And they call a foul on Mason Ellison. Confused with the call there. Ralph Rudizans drawed the foul. Dixon inbounds. That's the first foul of the half for the Dons. Dixon tries a crossover one too many times, and that's out of bounds. Junior Moncho checks back into the game for a long while of sitting down. Brown outside of the arc finds Ellison on inside. Ellison works on, and Ellison puts up a mid-range jumper. That's good. Excuse me, he was working on Rudizans. And the Dons only cut the lead down to 2.
Yeah, there are a bunch of other things that the Dons could be doing better in order to be ahead in this game and being more dominant. So one of those things is hitting more of those shots. I know I mentioned this earlier, but Mason Ellison, he was missing a lot of his original threes. It seems as if he's gotten more on track now, but the key to this game is going to be hitting your shots because defense has just not been playing very well. So we're going to need to hit more shots and be more dominant in the scoring area of things.
Yeah, I would add on to that. I would say more selective with your shots as well. We took a lot of scrappy threes that we shouldn't have took. A long two for Jalen Brown, can't get it to fall. Mancho gets the defensive rebounds. And then a flip to Rodney Scott as he works on Hammond from the top of the key. Dixon outside of the arc on Williams, fakes to his right, goes to his left, tries to lay one in, gets his own rebound, and we'll get a foul called. And we have a Mount Carmel inbound in their side of the court, or in the Don side of the court, excuse me. Rudizans now to Rodney Scott. He'll drive right to a wide open cup, and they'll call a travel. They had the Dons mixed up. Rudizans had 2 on him, Ellison and Hammond. So Scott just took that wide open underside to the basket and got called for a travel.
That one, if the freshman Brown had just pulled up when he was driving into the basket, I think he would have been able to make a short 2. Instead, he tried to force the pass over to Dixon and couldn't complete it before his feet moved.
Navarre drove in for the layup, couldn't get it to fall. Frustration with Jalen Brown. Confusion on the call here, and they'll give it to Mount Carmel. Very good young talent on this Mount Carmel team. We see a lot of sophomores and a lot of freshmen opposed to a junior dominant Don's varsity squad. Drew Dixon will be the inbound, finds a big, tall Moncho, goes up for the rebound, gets his own rebound and fumbles it. And it's Williams in transition. Hammond for 3. Off the mark, a big rebound there from Sam Navarre. He'll go into the paint, bullies his way around, and he gets the foul and one. And they'll reverse the call here. It looked like a clear Mount Carmel foul. Coach Zerski's definitely going to argue that one, and they inbound the ball, so play is over. A valiant effort there from Navarre. Got his own rebound, put it right back up, and they called the foul on him.
Yeah, Brooks, I completely agree, but first of all, you have to have that three. You just have to have that one. I mean, it was wide open, and he shot it too far and was not able to come down with the 3 points. Sam Navarre, who got his own rebound, like you said before, and was able to get the N1, which didn't eventually count. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if he had just hit that three. You just have to have that.
Yeah, and during that, Tatum went up for a mid-range jumper, got the foul. And yeah, I completely agree. Hammond's got to have that, a wide open look. That would have tied this ball game. Now it's 32-37. 4 fouls for this Loyola squad. Hammond. Long three from Ellison. He didn't get it, and Navarre falls. They went for the alley-oop. Drew Davis with a nice pass to Rudizans.
Yeah, just a couple of things I saw that time. I mean, Mason Ellison, he had another 2 or 3 feet between him and that three-point line. He could have easily stepped up and made that three just that much easier on himself. Ended up missing it.
Yeah, this point differential could easily be decided by silly mistakes from this Loyola squad, you know, just turnovers. And there's a long two from Brown, just walks around the rim, and Brown frustrated. Puts up the 2. That's Scott, Ellison. They're pushing a high press, and they'll get the foul.
Yeah, and Brown's frustration on that one is completely understandable. I mean, those shots, they look like they're so good, and then they circle around the rim and fall harmless to the ground. It's just disappointing.
Five-point deficit for the Dons. Legree will bring it up versus the freshman. Ellison drives to the cup. He'll get the foul. Navarre puts it back in. It won't count, but Ellison goes to the line. 3rd time tonight. Can reduce it to a 1-score game. 4 fouls for Loyola, only 3 for the Mount Carmel side.
Yeah, and 4 is surprising for this Loyola squad because in the first half, they only had 1 foul the entire half for the team, and now they have 4 in just the 3rd quarter, and we're not even halfway done.
When the Dons do get the advantage as well, when they get the advantage of going to the free throw line, they got to cash in. I mean, Ellison's missed a couple tonight, but he hits both there. Jalen Brown's missed a couple opportunities there. Coach Zersky and O'Dwyer calling a play. Inside look. Mancho, and throws it away. Mancho was posted up there. We'll have it. It was a tip ball. Mancho against Navarre. Mancho outside the arc. He'll drive to the rim. Does a spin. Navarre fell. Looked for the charging. Nothing there. Brown drives, and a silly mistake there. Samartine Hill goes up and lays one in. Just a bad mistake. Tried to drive and get the foul. Jalen Brown obviously frustrated here.
Yeah, Brooks, and I just want to say something about before about Mancho. He absolutely flattened Navarre on that one. If he had made that layup, it would have been one for the highlight reels.
Brown for 3 is perfect again. That's his 4th on the night. He's spot on despite the frustration. He's using it to his power as Hilgard Heflin. Drew Davis has earned himself a double. Hill goes up for the layup. A big tip there from Marlon Williams. He'll get up. Hill goes up for the mid-range jumper. That's off the mark. Jalen Brown, defensive rebound. finds Legree with space. Ellison wide open on this far corner. Can they find him? Legree gives it to him. Ellison drives in, mid-range jumper along the baseline. He's good. And we have a tie game. All the momentum with Loyola here. Tipped, and Ellison has a drive to the basket. Goes around Davis. Tip, and we got the foul. Mason Ellison was fouled there. A great defensive play there from Marlon Williams. Won it back at the half court mark. Ellison had a drive to the cut around Davis. And we got the foul here. There's confusion here on what's happening.
Definitely some confusion from the fans, all screaming at each other. It's pretty loud in here now.
Ellison can't give the Dons the advantage on the first one as Rudizans checks back into the game for Moncho. Moncho been pretty quiet so far, even despite his large presence on the floor. Ellison for the lead. Off the mark. See, as I was just saying, Ellison's got to hit those as we have a tie ball game. And Mount Carmel with possession here is the freshman Hill.
Yeah, Brooks, I think you would agree with me when I say that Ellison, with those first couple misses, he's just been missing in a row now. He's kind of in a hole, and he needs to dig himself out if the Dons are going to go up by more points.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get himself going. Mason Ellison led the Dons to victory in the Governor's Challenge this past Saturday. He had himself 20 points, backed with 14 from Legree and 11 rebounds from Sam Navarre. If he can get to that mark tonight, that would be huge. But in the third quarter, it's not looking like that can be the case. Williams, with Scott guarding him, moves up at the top of the key, all by himself, and we'll have a foul on Scott. Good moves there from Williams off a high pressure. Legree on the baseline to inbound.
Yeah, incredible handles there from Williams with the spin move and then draws the foul.
More commotion here, and they'll give the ball to Mount Carmel. That's certainly not what we thought here. Certainly thought that would be a Legree inbound. Dixon in the corner, steps back, tipped away by Williams. And did Mount Carmel touch it? Yes, they did. Dons basketball.
Unlucky there by Mount Carmel, trying to keep it in bounds, and ended up being the ones to take it out.
2 minutes, 20 seconds here, 39 all. Ellison works on Rudizan's far corner, perfect! Mason Ellison takes a couple moves, and Rudizans couldn't catch up to him. Ellison with a huge change in tide here. Maybe that could be the spark to his night. 42-39 Dons.
Absolutely, Brooks. I mean, a couple more of those, and he could be well on his way to digging himself out of this hole and perhaps even becoming one of the lead scorers in this game and going on a huge run.
Yeah, on this possession here for Mount Carmel, it's huge that they get some points on the board right before the end of the third quarter, especially. We saw the Dons just now move into a little bit of a zone package here, not pressing man-to-man, maybe not work against Drew Dixon one-on-one. Hill's at the line. Shoots the first one, it's good. Battle Ali checks in for the third time tonight for Navarre. The power forward. Just a quick switch in power forwards. It's Navarre's second year on varsity. Hill off the mark. Ellison with the defensive rebound. 143, if the Dons get points here, it would be huge for a two-score game. Legree brings it up versus Dixon. Legree handoff to a wide-open Williams, finds Deji Batalali on a wide-open wing off the front side of the rim. And 1:28 to play. It's Drew Dixon working on Marlon Williams. look to push the pace, and now they'll have a settled possession. Let's see what the Dons can do with a settled defensive possession here, or defensive stand.
It was wide open when he passed it, but that hole closed up quick as Junior Mancho filled up that hole and made a miss.
Marlon Williams from a deep three, no good. A good tip out from Jalen Brown. Marlon Williams drives to the paint, foul. He won't get the bucket, but Junior Mancho, Marlon Williams ran right into his hands. And the Dons have the chance to make this a 2-possession game with time running out in this third quarter. Dons started this down by 4 at a 34-40 score. They have won this quarter 8-4, now 9-4. I mean, you see the 40 points put up by Mount Carmel, having them only score 4 so far with under a minute left is pretty impressive change. You must wonder what went on in that locker room at halftime with Coach Zersky and Coach O'Dwyer. As Legree hits again, it's 44-40.
Well, Brooks, I'll tell you what happened right now. They said Drew Dixon shut him down. That's what they said. He has had no points here in this third quarter.
Yeah, you could hear the Dons going in the locker room, saying only one man to guard, and that would be Drew Dixon. Yep, Dons in the zone package here. Legree on ball. Deji Batalali goes up for the block. Tipped out to wide open Ellison. Tips to Legree. Finds Ellison deep, and he stays in. Legree goes up for the shot. No good. They push pace here. It's Scott. Scott drives in. Looks for the foul, and he'll get it. Coach Zersky is in awe of the call that has just been given.
Yeah, definitely some frustration going from Coach Zersky and the crowd. I imagine if it's like this in the fourth quarter, things will be loud in here.
Yeah, this is a big matchup that the Dons could see themselves winning up by 3 here with 13.3 seconds. Williams checks out of the game, Hammond back in. But a 2-3 Don side leads by 2 against a 4-1 Mount Carmel side, and the Dons will play last shot here. We're under 10 to play. Legree, Tatum guarding him. Legree, step back, finds Jalen Brown, step back 3, off the front of the rim and out. A 44-42 lead. Dons win that corner by a score of 11-8. An 8-point quarter only for Mount Carmel. That's really good for the Dons defense. We'll be back for more fourth quarter action and see if the Dons can see this one through on the Loyola Sports Network. We welcome you back here to Jerry Savage Court. It's a 44-42 lead for the Dons. Can they see this one through is the question we've been asking. Coach Zersky in the huddle telling the Dons to stay composed and keep their footing. And you know, as Reed said earlier in that third quarter, Drew Davis, 0 points after an electrifying first half performance in that third quarter. Let's see if they can keep him to a 0 in this quarter again, as Mancho way off the mark where he was working on Jaylen Brown there. Brown pushes it in transition. Mancho just comes up behind and pokes that ball right out. Mason Ellison on defense, nothing there. And a charge will be called there. A travel, actually. Looked like a charge. Navarre definitely had his feet set there. One call or the other, doesn't matter. It's Don's basketball here.
Yeah, in my opinion, that one should have been a charge. I mean, Mancho just absolutely trucked Navarre, and he went flying to the ground. Had his feet set and everything.
After the break, Luka Wolf checked into this game. Hammond drives to the cup, lays one in, easy off Wolf. Luka Wolf, nothing there against Jordan Hammond. And the Dons back up by 4 with 7 minutes to play. Drew Dixon, excuse me. Dixon. Now it's Scott. Scott drives to the cup against Navarre. Kicked out. Corner 3 for Tatum. Off the rim and out. An offensive rebound and a bucket up by Tatum. And we got a timeout. As it's only a one-score game now. Anything can happen. The Dons need to stay up by 2 scores here to maintain good confidence going throughout the rest of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, this game has been incredibly close in terms of scoring. Mount Carmel dominated the first half with Drew Dixon going on an absolute rampage, and the Dons outscoring them in the third quarter, came back and now are up by a singular score. So in order to keep this game in check, the Dons need to go up by even more.
Dons to inbound. It's Legree to bring it up. Brown looks at his options. Legree, wide open 3. Off the mark. That was the right look for the Dons, and now Mount Carmel can equalize it here as Drew Dixon drives to the cup, off the rim and out. Navarre notches the rebound. And in transitions, the Dons, they settle it down. Let's see what they do on a settled possession. Ellison drives to the rim, no good, but he will get the foul. Ellison at the line, shooting 2.
And he needs these to get his confidence back up. He's missed a couple tonight.
Ellison left it short, didn't give it enough juice. Williams checks in for Legree. Ellison shooting his second. 46-44, Dons lead. 6:03 to play. Perfect. Tatum to Scott. Almost made a mistake there. Ellison was charging for that pass. Just missed it. Now Scott at the top of the 3. Rudizans sets a pick behind Marlon Williams. Let's see what Scott can do with it. Under 10 to shoot. Scott drives in the paint. Mid-range floater, no good. Navarre gets the rebound. And Mount Carmel needed that to get back on terms here with Loyola. Jaylen Brown giving it to Hammond, telling him to settle it down. Hammond will go to the bucket. Around the rim and in. A really nice layup there from Jordan Hammond. This is a 5-point Dons lead.
Yeah, that layup was from pretty far away, too. It looked like it was not going to go in, but then somehow, almost a miracle that it bounced off that front of the rim and sunk.
Tatum, now to Scott. Scott work is on Williams. Steal there by Hammond. Hammond sees Ellison, tipped up by Scott. A crucial play there. Dons could have gone up by 2 scores. Scott, top of the key. Don's zone defense here. Dixon looked to set the pick. Still has yet to score. Tatum open 3, right wing, off the glass and out. And Williams drives, mid-range jumper up, and good. A pivotal jumper there. Williams hits in crucial time. Coach Zersky getting this Dons bench amped up as the Dons have a 7-point lead. Biggest lead of the night for either team, and it's the Dons as Rudezans goes up and gets the foul and 1.
Yeah, an impressive series for the Dons there, just sinking their shots. As we talked about earlier, that is crucial in order to win this game. They have to keep putting those balls up in the air and getting them in the net because, honestly, they have not been very good at the line tonight or past the 3-point.
Yeah, neither team really perfect here at the line, but Rudezans makes it a 3-point play and a 4-point game. Brown finds a wide open Hammond. He'll drive to the rim. He'll go up and get the foul. No. A charge there on Hammond. A really, really smart play on the Mount Carmel defense. And Hammond shakes it off. He knows it was a really good play, but even better from the Mount Carmel side. Still a 4-point game here. Man, that could have changed the tide in this game. Scott finds a wide open Rudezans, and even more open Heflin, and he airballs a 3. Gotta hit that, as we said earlier. I mean, you gotta cash in on that. Brown, wide open 3 off the mark. See, I mean, 2 missed 3s on 2 possessions for both teams. Brown with a block, and they'll call it a foul. Brown thinks he got all ball.
Looked like Brown was shoved after the play that time. He fell flat on the ground. Not sure what happened. But Mount Carmel will go to the line.
3:34 to play. Can the Dons get their first win here on Jerry Savage Court in the Baltimore Catholic League? We'll see in these next couple minutes as it's 51-48 now after Dixon is at the line. Still has yet to score other than the free throws. No field goals yet after halftime. He's perfect on his second as well. See, you let him shoot, he scores. I think the Dons team understands that. Williams calling a play.
And Brooks, it's back to a 1-score game now. The Dons, as we said earlier, they have to go up by more.
They need a score here. Ellison, deep 3, no good. Navarre, offensive rebound. He'll go himself. And another scary call there. A controversial call. They called Ellison on the, or they called, Navarre on the elbow. He got up for a big rebound. And if Mount Carmel scores here, we're tied or they're in the lead. It's crunch time as we're under 3 minutes to play. Tatum went up for it. He got bumped in midair, missed the shot, and we'll get another foul without the shot. So he'll be on the baseline.
Yeah, coach was really frustrated after that controversial elbow call. I don't know. I didn't see the elbow, but apparently the refs did.
You know, Reed, we haven't really seen Coach Zersky's clear objective set to his team really play out in this game so far. I mean, Navarre's got himself a couple good offensive rebounds. The Dons still haven't cashed in on those. And where we've really seen Mount Carmel do surge is really in the paint, and that was one of Coach Zersky's clear objectives. You know, their big guys getting the job done in the paint. Haven't really seen Dons prevail so far.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. Coach Zerski's goals, unfortunately, have not been going very well in this game.
Ridazan shoots a second. He was off the mark on his first, then he makes the second. It's a 1-point game when we have a timeout. 2:54 to play here. 51-50, Loyola leads here. We'll take a break on the Loyola Sports Network. Back in action here, 51-50 as we left off. It'll be Don's possession after Ridazan's just sunk his second free throw. We're in for a good one here. 1-point game. It's been back and forth so far, but definitely Mount Carmel's taken charge here in this fourth quarter. As we saw it was all Don's third quarter, and it's been pretty back and forth, but you have seen that Mount Carmel has had the edge in this fourth quarter. Williams working on Scott. Brown drives to the rim. Mid-range jumper off the glass and in. Jalen Brown, the Don's leading scorer tonight.
Yeah, Brooks, I completely agree with you there. I mean, I cannot wait to see how this one plays out in the final seconds. Hopefully it'll be some sort of buzzer beater that puts the Dons ahead and has them prevail, but who really knows what's going to go down?
Yeah, it's a 3-point game here, 2:35 left to play. Tony Martin drawing up a play in that Mount Carmel huddle, trying to take away this Don zone and exploit it. You know, looking back into Don's past with some close games, Dons have not done well in close games. You know, it was even at halftime versus Calvert Hall, and an unfortunate loss there down in Towson, where the Dons could not pull through. They lost by a margin of 13 in that game, I believe.
Yeah, just an unfortunate statistic, Brooks. I mean, they really should be doing well in those games, because not like we've seen that very much tonight, but they have some excellent shooters. They've just been off their game.
Yeah, 2 first-year coaches as well. As Navarre looks for the charge, he's got it. He's pumped up, and so is this bench. A pivotal play in this fourth quarter. Dons will have possession, looking to add more, 53-50. Crowd gets into this one. Williams up the court. Wilson guarding him. Now to Ellison, looks for Brown. He's got it in the posts. Brown works on Scott. Brown turns, finds Navarre wide open, and he lays it in. Great look and a great backdoor cut from Sam Navarre. 5-point game, 1:40 to play. Coach O'Dwyer encouraging this team to get loud. Rudizans for 3. Back rim and out. Navarre gets the rebound. Pass behind. Ellison. Hammond almost lost the pass there, and we'll have a timeout from Coach Zerski. A very, very big possession here for the Dons. Up 5 here against a really, really good Mount Carmel side. Reed, what do you think the Dons can do to hold on to this one?
Well, first of all, they need to sink a shot, any shot here. That'll put them up by 3 scores, which it makes it tough to score 3 times in only a minute 20 when you have
30-second shot clock. Yeah.
when you have a defense such as the Dons, I mean, we've seen a lot of offense here tonight, but not a lot of scoring because of all the missed shots from both sides, really. I mean, just not making very good decisions when it comes to when they're going to shoot. So they need to sink this shot here on this possession to put them up by 3 scores.
Yeah, lots of missed opportunities on both sides. I completely agree with you for that. And a bucket here or even a foul would be huge. Navarre's really surged here late in this quarter. Navarre's gotten a bunch of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, I would say Navarre has been one of the most incredible assets to this game. All of his rebounds and just simple layups that are putting the Dons up by more points.
Euro step there from Dixon, and that's perfect. 3-point game, timeout with 1:10 left. On that previous possession for the Dons, Brown looked to have it in 3 range, and it was no good. He was double, and it got tipped, one back by Mount Carmel. And it comes all down to this. Dons hold their destiny here. A bucket could seal this game. Any type of bucket. Free throw, any 3, any 2. But they certainly control their own destiny. Only 2 available shot clocks left, 2 full possessions.
Yeah, Brooks, I mean, the score 55-52. They need a 3. Mount Carmel, that is. They need a 3. They'll be looking for Drew Dixon. He hasn't been very productive in this second half, but he could be very essential for Mount Carmel to come back and win this game. So that's who they'll be looking for. If I was the Dons, I would keep him manned up extremely.
Yeah, he gets that chance. You know he's going to take it. They certainly need to keep the ball out of his hands as he walks out onto the court. Navarre will check out. It's Legree, Brown, Ellison, Hammond, and Williams on the court for the Dons. Let's see if they get the job finished. Definitely not looking for a quick bucket. And a quick press there. Williams wide open in the corner. Gives to Ellison, tip ball. And we'll get a timeout. Man, that was quick. You know, the Dons barely got that ball over the half line. And Mount Carmel jumped them very quickly. They jumped them right away. Couple tip passes. They did get the ball back. That's the Dons.
Yeah, Mount Carmel playing with a fire on defense right now, trying to come back and win this close game that they've stuck in the whole time they've been in this game. They've been up and then they've been down, and the Dons have been up, and it's been a very, very close game, and the Mount Carmel Cougars want to come back and win this game.
3-point game. We're under a minute here. It'll be Dons inbound, 18 left to shoot. One of the closer games that we've seen the Dons in. The other one, a 58-60 loss here at home versus MSJ. Let's see if the Dons can put themselves in the win column at home in the Baltimore Catholic League. Certainly going to have tight, limited options here, as we already know Mount Carmel is going to come out in the press. It'll be Brown inbounding. Williams with it. Heavy press, he'll get the double. Under 10 to shoot, it's Hammond. Dons need to stay composed here. Short court for Hammond, he's being pressed, and they'll try and get a jump ball. They will. Hammond couldn't get rid of it.
Definitely some confusion here. Everybody's yelling at everybody else.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who will get possession off the jump. It was a phenomenal play by Mount Carmel to double him. You know, it's off really one call there. You know, you see Mount Carmel come out in the man, and then, you know, one man calls the press, and it's an automatic double. Brown will get the foul, and he'll go to the line. That's huge. Rudizan's got him on the jumper, and Brown can put this game on skates.
Yeah, these last 3 minutes have been ticking by slower than a slug in molasses, but here we are, the final 41.1 seconds, and Brown's at the line.
Perfect on his first shot. Coach Zersky has the rest four all in a huddle around him. You know, we haven't really seen the Dons in a close game, especially the past two, but we have in the past in their season. Brown off the mark, off the front rim. They need a quick bucket here. Mount Carmel, that is. Scott, corner, Tatum. Now Scott Dixon, open at the top of the key. He'll step back. Nothing yet here. Great defense on this possession. He's off the mark. That was Tristan Wilson. And a rebound there from Marlon Williams. He's on the ground, and he has the ball. Crowd on their feet for Marlon Williams. (56-52), 20.6 seconds left. And yeah, as I was saying, in their past two games, 178-122 winning margin for the Dons. So we haven't really seen them in a stressor this close, but it'll be Dons ball. All they need to do is hold on. No bucket necessary here. Brown finds Hammond. Wilson on ball, definitely not looking to foul, and there he is. Too much time ran out, and Hammond's at the line for two. Legree, Ellison, Brown, and Hammond hits his first, 57-52, 5-point margin. Williams, Ellison, Legree, and Brown all in the backcourt. Hammond on his second. Perfect. Hammond is the one to press Drew Dixon. They need a three-pointer here. He'll go up for the three, and bang, perfect. It's a three-point game here, 8.9 seconds. Mount Carmel has to come out in the press. You know, Drew Dixon just automatic. You know, you give him the ball, he'll shoot, he'll score. You know, his first bucket in this second half. It's a crucial one. 3-point game here. All the Dons need to do is catch the ball and hold on to it.
Yeah, that's really all they need to do, but don't count out this Mount Carmel defense. They've drawn fouls and they've drawn jump balls. So if they do that, they might be able to win back possession of this ball and try and tie this game up.
So crucial moment here. Will the Dons prevail and hold on here in front of a big crowd on Jerry Savage Court? Brown to inbound. Timeout, Coach Zersky. Brown didn't have anything open, and it looked like Marlon Williams was being held. Wouldn't get the call. 8.9 still on the clock. No time ran off. But good defense there from Mount Carmel. Forces this game to go on longer.
That is great timeout management there by Coach Zersky, because Brown did not have anything open, and if you tried to force one in, it might have been picked off, and then Mount Carmel would really have a chance to tie this game up and send it into overtime.
Yeah, only a one-possession game. You already know they're going to be looking for Dixon. Fourth quarter, no shot clock, 8.9 seconds. Jalen Brown and Drew Dixon, top scorers for each team. They've been battling all night. Brown will get the inbound again. Let's see if Coach Zersky's play could come and clutch here. We'll see what the call is. It's a foul on Rodney Scott. I think he'll get called for a hold. And Marlon Williams could put the nail in the coffin here for the Dons to tuck away a victory against a very, very talented Mount Carmel Cougars team.
Yeah, you could just see the depression in the Mount Carmel coach's face when he saw that the foul was called. Williams sinks that one. 2-possession game now.
Yeah, as we kind of said earlier in the game, the Dons not really shooting well at the line. That definitely changed in the second half as Marlon hits his second. And it's a 5-point game. Rush down the court, under 5 to play. Dixon puts up a 3, and it's perfect again. Man, he's just automatic. I mean, he cannot miss tonight from 3, and now it's a 1-possession game with 2.5 seconds left. You know, a steal and a bucket gets the job done here.
Yeah, I mean, Brooks, not only is it a 1-possession game, it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, it's a winnable game here for Mount Carmel. With anything can happen, but, you know, only 2.5 seconds left.
Even in the NBA, you barely ever see this, but if somebody just takes like a wild shot towards the basket, it could go in. You never know.
Yeah, anything can happen here.
What do you think, Brooks? Do you think this gym would be absolutely silent if it went in, or do you think everybody would be going crazy?
Oh, definitely the latter option. Definitely, everybody's going crazy. You know, if we score again, everybody's going crazy. But you know, I think this gym would probably be pretty silent. But you know, there's a lot of fans for both teams. I think it would be pretty quiet on the Loyola side if Mount Carmel puts this one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Brown to inbound for the 3rd time. He gets it to Hammond, and they'll get the foul. That should just about do it. If Hammond sinks both, that is game over. Can the Dons extend the winning streak after a nice Governor's Challenge tournament? Can they extend the winning streak to 3 in season games or in league play? Hammond steps up. Perfect. 61-58 now. Rudisons checks in for the rebound. Hammond, biggest moment of the game right here. You bet. Jordan Hammond seals this game for the Dons. And a 62-58 commanding victory for Coach Zersky and his team. Crowd cheers. Jalen Brown, perfect performance. Reed, what are your takeaways?
Well, let's see, Brooks. The Dons have to do better when it comes to shooting those threes, especially if it's Mason Ellison, because he missed a lot of threes and he also missed from the line tonight. So I think he was in sort of a recession game after a great performance. So hopefully he'll pick it up next game. And then number 2, who's the Dons player of the game, do you think?
You know, I would have to give that one to Jalen, my boy Jalen. I would have to give that to Jalen right there. Jalen played a great game from outside the arc. A great commanding win for the Dons. As we're signing off, Brooks Lepley alongside Reed O'Connor. Thank you for tuning in. 62-58 our final score. Thank you for listening.